to this month's edition of the Stafford Report. It's January 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. And today in the studio with me, I have some cosmetology students who are going to be doing a demonstration on a manicure and some hairstyling. I'm going to have them each introduce themselves now.
I'm Erin Mulcahy. I'm a second-year cosmetology student, and I recently got licensed as a cosmetologist.
I'm Jolie. I'm also an adult student at Stafford, and I am a licensed cosmetologist now too.
My name is Grace Smith, and I am a second year at Stafford and a cosmetologist.
My name is Maddie Severance. I'm a second year at Stafford, and I'm also a cosmetologist.
So these 4 young people have been enrolled at Stafford. They've completed their first year of their cosmetology program where they learned a lot of bookwork and a lot of basics. And as second year students, they moved downstairs into our salon space and classroom space where they continue their studies. And Erin and Jolie just took their state boards. They were finishing up after being at Stafford. So they're technically adult students enrolled during the day program. Of course, Stafford also has a night adult program for cosmetology, but these are all high school students, even though they're finishing as adults. It's a little confusing, but bear with me, it's all good. They have been with their instructor for 2 years. Our instructors loop and spend both years with their students so that they can continue their education using the vocabulary and the techniques that they're used to. And we are a state licensing board testing site, so these students did just take their exam 2 days ago, right? Yeah, 2 days ago. They took a practical and a written theory exam, and they passed. So they are now able to, they actually hold their cosmetology license, which is very exciting for them. We're very proud of them. They're going to be doing a simple manicure. So why don't you give us the beginnings of that. Explain what you're doing.
So I just filed and shaped her nails, kind of oval-ish.
Yeah, round.
Round. And now I'm going to buff her nails and then perform a hand massage, and then we get to painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we'll let you carry on with that. And on my other side, I have, we're going to be doing a style. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, explain what you're going to be doing.
So I'm going to be curling her hair today, and I'm going to start with using some product around her hair. So I'm going to start with the dry shampoo on her roots. And this just makes it hold a lot longer, and then I'm just going to use some heat protectant.
And so heat protectant is really to protect her hair from the styling.
Yes.
Okay, so what comes next? I'm not a hairstyle girly, so I might talk like I know what I'm talking about, but it's all an act.
And then I'm going to be parting her hair.
So you're going to section off her hair and work with like one section at a time?
Yes.
Okay. So are any of you planning on competing in Skills USA this year?
If we competed, we would be adult students. So.
Are you planning on Skills?
I don't think so.
Okay. So one of the skills that our cosmetology students need to kind of work on constantly is the customer interaction. So they're working on people they know right now. They're familiar with each other. But as a cosmetologist, you're going to have clients that you don't know, that you're meeting for the first time, and you have to be able to make small talk. And we've all probably been to a barber or to a stylist, and you can't just sit awkwardly in the chair doing nothing. So that is one of the skills that they work on in the second year, because our salon at school is open to the public. They do have clients who come in and they work with clients and provide a consultation, figure out what the client wants and how best to achieve that. So there's a lot to it beyond the technical skills. There's a lot of social interaction. and making sure that the client knows how to recreate the style at home. And, you know, I'm not a nail girl either, really, but I do know that nails are really having a moment right now. It's very trendy to have your nails done in patterns and nail art. It's pretty popular to not have them all match, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. And I only know from what I see in the hallways and when you all show me your nails. So now you're doing a hand massage.
Yes.
The interesting thing about cosmetology I always find is you have to know all of the human anatomy in that
yes.
hand and arm and head and legs and feet, so that when you're doing a hand massage, you're not creating any issues or causing any pain. How's that hand massage feel?
Good. Yeah. Very relaxing. We have 3 techniques we use. We use effleurage, petrissage, and taponnet, but we don't really use taponnet for a manicure. It's more of a facial.
So can you explain what they are?
Effleurage, you usually start or end a service with. It's light, gentle, like circular movements. Petrissage is like, it's more firm, like petting, or like.
That's how you remember it?
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. And taponnet is just tapping.
Lightly tapping.
Oh, I've had that on a facial before.
Yes, it's very nice.
Helps with lymphatic drainage and that
Yes,
type of thing.
blood
Yeah.
circulation, all the stuff.
So over here, I've got this curling going on, and I see you're using a comb at the end of that.
Yes.
Is that,
I hold it at the root because it avoids it getting too close to the scalp and burning.
yeah, we don't want to burn anyone for that. And you're using that curling iron it's perpendicular, it's
Yes.
straight up and down, it's vertical
Yes.
to her skull. And what kind of a curl does that produce?
It really doesn't make a difference. It's kind of how your preference on how you like to curl.
Okay.
I just think it gives a more of a nicer curl. It turns more, I feel like. The curl is more spiral
Okay.
than if you just did it the other way.
Yeah. So she's working her way around the back, and when we get closer to the front, we'll be able to see more of that. And she's just resectioning the hair. She pulls out some that she hasn't curled yet, and she'll curl that, and the rest of it she puts back up in a hair clip. Clearly, I don't need any hair clips, but so you're getting your other hand massaged.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of doing nails?
I guess it's just kind of like a little relaxation for me and whoever I'm performing on, I guess. It's kind of my little sanctuary. I get very detail oriented. Yes. And I really like to pay attention to the little things. I like to make sure my client is having a good time and knows that I care about what I'm doing to them. And same with pedicures. I know most people don't like to give pedicures, but I really love to see like something that people think are gross, like feet. I kind of turn it into something cute and pretty, you know.
Relaxing.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
She's so good at them.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone agrees that if we need a pedicure, we know who to ask for.
Yeah.
And I always feel like when I walk into the salon, the manicure station is kind of like a quiet
Yes,
spot.
yeah.
It's like it's more thoughtful, it's more spa-like than sometimes the frenzy of a blow dryer and, you know,
Yeah.
all of that. Do you like doing styling like this, dry styling, or?
Yes, I like to do updos and stuff like that. I just think making people feel beautiful and more pretty really gets me excited about doing this for a living.
That's a good attitude to have, because I know when I would spend money and go and see my stylist, I do want to come out feeling pretty. I want to feel like that money was well spent and that I treated myself and I just had a great experience. So I love to hear that that's your goal in working with a client. And speaking of clients, how is working on a client you don't know?
For me, it's not. I am a very talkative person. I feel like I can talk to anyone. But in the beginning, it's hard to like figure them out, see what they want to talk about, see if they even want to talk. Some clients just like to have that spa time, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, sometimes it's difficult. It sort of depends on how the client is too. But yeah, you kind of get the hang of it the more clients you get.
And that's why we really encourage the community to schedule an appointment at our salon. Our students need the experience. They want to practice. They want to have those experiences that will make them a better stylist or a better at their manicures and pedicures. And what are some of the other services besides just styling hair or a manicure or pedicure? What else do we offer at the salon?
So we do facials too. We do waxing, paraffin wax. We do cuts, like haircuts and hair color, perms, highlight.
Perms,
Yeah.
color. It's really a full service salon then, because
Yes.
we're doing eyebrows, we're doing lip wax, we're doing facials, pedicures, manicures, and all types of hair services, from hair color, haircuts, men's cuts, perms, fashion colors, updos,
Yeah.
and
Makeup.
curling.
Oh yeah, we do makeup too.
And makeup.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot going on. And I bet most of you have had a family member come in for service?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of where we start with our client base?
Yeah.
You had a day last year where you invited your moms to come in? Was that last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago. And other students, right?
Yes.
So Stafford students have the opportunity, if they are caught up on their work and it's okay with their program instructor, they can also make an appointment if they have a permission slip on file to come in and have a service done. We see that a lot if someone is going on a job interview maybe and they want a little touch up on their hair. That is something that our students can provide. They do it also before Skills USA for our students in leadership events or other events who just want to clean up their look a little. So now we're using hairspray
Yes.
to hold that curl.
Yes.
Okay, and you're still working your way around her head. Awesome. And how is this over here? What are we doing, a base coat?
Yes. It helps the color grip to the nail and
Yes.
not want to chip away as much.
So I've had my nails done. Again, it's not really my thing, but I know when someone else does my nails and they take the time to do a base coat and 2 layers and a
Yes.
top coat, it's a much nicer than when I do it myself at home and put on one coat and go, oh, that's right, I don't like nail polish. And I take it out. So what has been your most challenging thing to learn in the cosmetology program?
I think the fundamental of it all, like
Yeah.
the way the body works and
Yeah, there's a lot of science behind cosmetology, which I think a lot of us didn't expect.
Like we learn about
Every single
electricity.
in the human body, or just like what you use every day. Every single bone in the body we should be able to name. Should be able to. But that's like a lot to
So
remember.
why would that be? Talk to me about like having a client at a shampoo sink and some of the considerations around the body.
Yeah, our number one priority is making sure your client is comfortable and like feels safe. So to know what is sensitive or what you could be making uncomfortable on them is like good to know. Like a lot of times the shampoo bowl will hurt the neck or the back because you're propped up with your head back. So like our chairs in the salon have footrests, and that takes like the pressure off of your back, which is good.
And our sinks also adjust
Yes.
so you can help the neck not be so uncomfortable.
So there's really a lot to think about that as a client, I might not think about all of these things. I know that I've never been horribly uncomfortable in a shampoo sink, but that speaks to the skill of my stylist, whether that's one of you all or if it's a stylist that I used to see outside of school who moved away and left me. It was sad. But I love seeing you all come out with your hair curled and styled and braids and the fanciness. And highlights are kind of a big thing, too. Like
Highlights, lowlights.
So lowlights, talk to me about lowlights.
Lowlights are the same thing as highlights. They're just with a darker color than your base.
Instead of a lighter
to
color.
add dimension to your hair, usually.
I think that's really been the most popular hair
Yeah.
recently.
Is lowlights?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read
Especially
about,
for winter too.
and
yeah.
I've read about like smudge roots. Is that what it's
Yes.
called?
Yeah, that is a service that you usually get for highlights or like any lightening, or even just not, but a lot of lightening services. They'll give you a smudge root, and it will like minimize the look of your root. Like, so there's not quite a line on your head.
So you don't have that
know,
like skunk
with
look.
the grow out.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a lot of ways to handle the in between coloring or changing a
Yes.
color or changing a style, deciding that's too many highlights. I don't want to be so bright, like you said in the winter, changing our look up. I love those nice soft curls you're giving her.
Yeah.
They're so pretty. It's looking really well. I'm just in awe because when I try to do that, that is not what it comes out looking like. It's not good.
I think with Maddie's face frame, I think that the softer curls definitely look better on her compared to if they were tight curls all the way up to the root. I think the ends curled look better on her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of got that beachy look going, like she's got salt water in her hair.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite way to do your own hair?
I like just a good blowout. I like more volume because my hair is pretty straight, so I like to put volume in it. Usually mousse helps with that. You put mousse in your root, it'll give it more volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And what are we doing now? We're applying a color?
Yes, we're doing a
Yeah.
pattern.
So we're gonna
of
alternate
these two
blue and
colors.
pink.
Blue and what?
Pink.
Pink.
Blue and pink. So you're going every other blue. Now, will the other hand be the same ones are blue, or is it the opposite?
Opposite. You can do
Okay.
either way, but
But you're going to do opposite.
yes.
And this is trendy.
Not really, but we decided it would be fun. I wanted it.
Okay.
I like these
I
colors.
think it's trendy. I think whatever.
I see a lot of people, like the ring finger is done different.
Yes, definitely. That's a main thing. Or like a couple are patterned and the other are the same. Nail trends are getting very wild recently. There's
They're
a
very
lot
intricate.
Of different, yes.
Yeah.
With the chrome and the
Long
builder
nails.
gel and the
Now,
long
you're using
nails.
a regular polish.
Yes.
There are other types of polish.
Yes, there are. Well, there's a gel polish,
Mm-hmm.
and that does not dry unless you use a UV LED lamp for nails. But there's a lot of different.
And what's the one that you dip your finger into, the powder?
Yeah, that's acrylic dip powder. That's not really a polish, but you can get it in colors, so you don't
Okay.
have to use a polish.
And then talk to me about artificial nails. Is that
Yes.
the correct term?
Yes.
Okay.
So dip, it is technically an artificial. Yeah, it falls in that category because you could put a tip on your nail and then put dip over top so your nails could be longer. Or you could just do it on your natural nail. Then there's also
Builder gel.
builder gel with or
hard
without
gel.
tips.
Yes.
Jolie actually has builder gel on her natural nails right now, and she's been growing them out. They're very long. That's what I'm striving for. And then there's acrylic, which is very smelly.
And
It's
you don't cure it with a light.
yeah, that just dries. The builder gel you have to cure, and the dip powder you don't have to cure. And then there's this newer one, which is Gel X, and that is similar to builder gel, but you have a whole like form on your nail, and you put gel on just your nail and like put the tip on top of that, and then you cure it under the light.
Wow.
That's a newer.
So those artificial nails, you have to have a very clean hand before you seal that nail, that artificial nail to
Yes,
the hand.
all of them. You
Yes.
have to have buffed, cleansed, filed nails.
If you
Dehydrated.
if you get any on the skin, you could risk giving your client contact dermatitis. So it's really important to do a clean job and not
Yeah.
get any on the skin. Anyway.
Doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So take precautions on every client.
And the salon offers all of those nail options as well as regular polish.
Yes.
Okay. So you do a lot of business around prom, right?
Oh yeah. All of our friends, it's always nails coming in. Yeah.
And how's the hair coming? It's looking great.
Good. It's very soft.
Looks good. It looks good. I like it.
Just gonna go in the opposite way now, because I'm on the other side of the head.
So that the curls kind of go
Yeah.
in towards each other.
Yeah.
Not all going in the same
Yeah.
direction. That would be weird. So do you have any thoughts or plans on what you hope to do with your cosmetology license when you get it?
I'm hoping to go right into the salon and then go into the night program for esthetician school, and then kind of venture off doing both, and then possibly going to school again to get my RN license to be able to do Botox.
Wow.
So
Do
hopefully.
you have plans too?
I want to be a hairstylist.
You just
I've
want.
always dreamed of it, so
Yeah.
maybe esthetician. But
So
now,
esthetician, can you explain for someone who maybe doesn't know how that expands the cosmetology piece? So if cosmetology is hair and nails, how does esthetician, what does that add?
So we can do a basic facial, but the aesthetics makes us be able to do more intense facials and kind of do more treatments for the face. Kind of opens the branch of what we can do for the facials.
So some more skincare and some more products
Yeah.
that you would be trained.
Different types of facials. Basically a lot more than what we get for
Yeah.
a basic facial.
It gets more personalized
Yeah.
too, for different skin types.
So the facials that you're doing now are kind of a standard,
Yeah, it's a basic facial.
not like one size fits all, but kind of, right? Like a little
yeah.
difference depending on oily skin or
Yes.
dry skin.
Yeah, we have different products, but we can't really diagnose anything because we don't have that certification.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and Stafford does have an aesthetics program, actually, that their classroom is up at the Woods in Killington. And so that's a great, like a growth plan for you to have that kind of, I'm going to finish this, I'm going to get this, and then I want to add this on. It makes you a more full service provider for your clients, which in turn leads to more money for you. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, the more services you can provide your client, the more money you can make, which is, you know, it's not the only thing, but we do like to be able to pay our bills. So both of you came from Middlebury.
Yes.
Middlebury's Career Center is Hannaford Career Center, who does not offer cosmetology. So
Yes.
that opened up this opportunity for you. How was it leaving your school and coming down here to Rutland?
It was great.
It was like the best decision I
Yeah,
made.
it was our senior year, so that's how we're adult students now.
Yeah, usually people go in
When they're juniors.
juniors or even sophomores, not as much anymore because of the third year, but yeah, so we came as seniors, that's why we continued on as adult students in our same high school class.
Right.
But yeah, it was great. I would recommend Stafford for anyone because it's like, especially if you're not really a school type of person, it more gets hands-on, and it's easier to like do what you love in school instead of just like what you have to do, if that makes sense.
And it's interesting because you were talking about how much science, there's the science of perms
Yeah.
and the science of color and color theory
Yeah.
and the science of the body and anatomy. So you were definitely learning a lot of stuff in your program,
Yes.
but it felt like you were learning what you were truly interested in.
Yes,
So
because-
it was more important.
Yeah, and I wanted to because I knew it would lead me to my future
Of
or
what- yeah.
my certification, my license, which
And
would,
what schools are you from? I forgot.
I'm from Mill River.
Mill River? And Rutland. So Rutland, you're just walking across the hallway. So that wasn't too big of a change.
Not at all.
But you don't really see your Rutland people
Right.
as much.
A lot of people when I came over to Stafford, but
Did you find new people?
I did. I found these girls.
And how about leaving Mill River?
I was so excited to leave Mill River. I just, like what Erin said, I'm not a person that can sit in a classroom all day and stare at a book and expect to learn a lot. So when my mom mentioned Stafford, I was like, that is such a good idea because I don't like just sitting and staring. So it opened up a good opportunity for me, and I'm glad I came.
So I always tell the students who are thinking about coming to Stafford that the beauty of it is when you get to Stafford, you end up in a room full of people who have the same interests that you do. And our classrooms do tend to end up to be little families. Sometimes there might be a little disagreement but in a family, but you have each other's backs and you stick together and you're a group. And it certainly seems that way with the cosmetology students, that you share this love of cosmetology, you have similar goals for your future, you support each other, you're all going through the same thing. It just makes it a comforting environment. Like no one was walking into a room where they knew everyone because we have 8 partner schools, 9 if we count our homeschool students, 10 if we count Middlebury, 11 when we get an occasional Burr and Burton student. So it's nice that you walk in to a group of people with similar interests. And we are almost out of time, and we're almost done with the hair. The nails are looking fabulous. You're putting a little glitter top coat on.
some lines, some
Some
designs.
glitter.
On all of them, or?
No.
Just the blue ones.
Okay.
Just the middle.
So she's going to finish up with a little sparkly glitter on the blue nails. And we're finishing up this curling. Is there anything that you would like to wrap up? Any last words for our audience?
Come to Stafford.
Come to Stafford.
Yeah.
And come and make an appointment at the salon, right?
Yes. We need it.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today in the studio. I know it's a lot to ask of you to bring your show on the road. You did a fabulous job with the manicure over here with nice fresh nail color on and some sparkle. And you're going to be going back to school with a nice curled hair. We'll let her finish that even as we're running out of time because I don't want you to go back half curled. And we will see you next month with another edition of the Stafford Report. Thank you.